It's got gators in it.
Oh, yeah? Well, me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes YouTube.
Cursed be the ground for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
All right, you dusty denizens, you dusty Jermaines, you ashy Jeffries, okay, you guys overseas, and you dirty foot Jose's. I'm getting sick of these dirty foot Jose's bragging on their women, okay? I had about enough of y'all telling me how feminine and how good they treat you, okay? And we stuck here, okay? Getting tired of you ashy, you ashy Jermaines, especially you dirty foot Jose's, man. Okay, y'all are getting on my nerves. Okay. Anyhow, Shannon Green batting first. What's going on? AB batting second, beaming in on transporter pad 7. Okay. Victor Creed batting third. Okay. Trail batting fourth. Man, bring him home. Trail, bring him home. Rise Films. What's going on? Just knocked the dust off my shoulder. Hey, I heard that. Yeah. If you're feeling like a pimp, go on, dust your shoulders off, okay? St. Cyr, what's going on? Chaz, what's happening? Captain Obvious. Adric, what's happening? Eddie, what's happening? Darnell, what's happening? Jesse, what's going on? My grammar Nazi, man, I was cracking up. Driving in the car talking about not pedestal. I said pedestal. What the hell is a pedestal? She had me rolling, man. I was rolling. I said, I said, go on, girl. That's my grammar Nazi. Hurricane Greg, what's going on? Kevin, Quentin, John Smith, Inspired Truth. It's interesting, man. It kind of pissed me off a little bit because when I saw it on Dr. L's, I was kind of pissed off. I don't know, man. I guess me being a monk, man, the way black women normally speak toward black men is starting to grate my nerves, especially as they get older. It's starting to grate my nerves, and man, I don't think I can go back personally. I said, if I'm going to date, it's got to be away from here. Barry Little, what's happening? Forever Blessed, what's going on? Roddy, checking in. It said, Barry Little says the real man defines his own words while defying the gynocracy and misandry. Very true. Ahmed Global, what's happening? Where you at, Ahmed? LAXT, what's going on? Listening in from work and had back-to-back double. Oh my goodness. Okay. Make that money though, man. It take to them a real man is in the streets always getting in trouble. Some of them, yeah. Dusty Jones, what's happening? Panda Man, let's go. Tooth Triv, Shawnee B, Free Agent Triple OG, The Black Toxic, what's happening? Lusa, what's going on? Big Mo, what's happening? Full Circle, what's going on? Ron Brown, what's happening? Paul, congratulations for starting on time. Yeah, you know what it is, man. It's not. It's not CPT or color people's time until you're at least 30 minutes late, okay? Plus or minus 5, we can deal with. DMV denizens are present. Okay, no fear you're here. And the shutdown's finally over. Y'all can go back to work. Yusef, what's going on? Big Mo. Apparently, in this society, all you have to do to be a real woman is to identify as one. When it comes to being a real man, you got to follow the rubric. Yes, sir. Prince, what's going on? Damn, didn't you think you would go do one after that 7-hour Patreon? Well, I took a lot of the last week off, so I got a lot of rest. Mr. J. Matt, what's going on? And you can only eat what you kill, Prince. So you got to go back to work. Gundam, what's going on? King Pix, what's happening? Digital Knight, what's going on? McKinnis J, what's going on? Louis, what's happening? Dame Digital, what's going on? Art, what's going on? Don Clip says the real man is the antithesis of everything that gives ADOS FBA women the tingles, apparently. Sometimes, okay. A real man since the super chat. Heard that, Adrian. J Mar, what's happening? Incognito Blue, what's going on? Hey, Artisan, what's going on, man? I thought you'd be out there, you know, uh, uh, destroying some stuff, man. Out there rebuilding some stuff. Deron, what's happening? Pragmatic Prime, what's up? Brother John, what's happening? Catch these hands jams, okay. Painless, what's going on? Indigo Flow. Oh, trust is rolling, man. You had me rolling, baby. You had me I was cracking up. Pedestal. And she was giving him a tongue lashing, too. B-Row, what's happening? Indigo Flow. Pedestal equals unicycle. Y'all ain't shit. Cobra, what's up? Say, oh, yeah, Alex says, we's tired, boss. Got to get that money, man, before 2026, man. 2026 is going to be one hell of a ride. I'm at you from Detroit? Okay. Well, you say global, so I thought you travel a lot. GC, what's going on? Michael N, what's going on? Martin Muhammad says, greetings, Sensei. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody yet unbowed. William Ernest Henley. Okay. My head is bloody but yet unbowed. Yeah, that sounds like a black man. Espresso, what's happening? Sir Him, what's up? Your celestial woo-woo yesterday was scary accurate. Okay. You had me thinking you know me. Oh, okay. Hey, man, I'm just reading the tea leaves, man. I'm just reading the tea leaves. That's all I'm doing. I'm not, I don't make it up. In fact, I think I need to, for Toya's sake, I think I need to resume my lessons. But my teacher's book about reading charts. It would be cheaper if I did. I heard that. Artists, you remind me of those Africans, man, taking them cars apart, man, by hand and stuff like that. That's what you remind me of. Man, they can fix anything, man. Don't matter. We don't need all these fancy tools, man. Just bring me the car, and we'll make it do what it do. Okay, thank you for doing this one, Master Teacher. Understanding what a nice guy is versus a good man and versus a real man has been part of my life journey. I think it all has, man. But we're Sigmas, man. Sigmas don't give a shit. Okay, you ain't no real man. Well, I guess not. So that's what we say. Willie R, what's going on? Dante, what's going on? Dirty Foot Jose, knowing his worth tax. Y'all make me sick. You make me sick. You're too fucking happy. Can't stand it. Too much happiness. They also I'm buying as much as possible directly from China in 2026. Have given up on Western capitalism. Uh, Man, it is a mess, man. In fact, I'm thinking about doing something later on my Master Teacher Response channel about the currencies and stuff like that, man. This money's going to be a mess in 2026, man. I do mean a mess. There's a difference between a nice guy, honorable man, an honorable man and an honorable man. Uh, may not be nice, but he will keep his word and his honor. And what a lot of times what women call a nice guy is a simp. Okay, he has no boundaries. I just saw an average man unplugged cover what lovely ladies decided to, well, let's say, talk to us like an organization I would recommend about us, and now I'm sick to my stomach. I've been trying to tell you that for years, man. How black women see you, okay? Um, and you know, and I get a lot of hate. Oh, filthy ruined ass homes. Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is true. And man, they got so many tools and stuff to fix to make this stuff a lot easier. But thing is, they don't want to. Okay, they don't want to import the stuff. They want to keep this kind of stuff high. Yeah, Sigma means I don't give two fucks. That's true. Dr. Thunder, what's up? Let's see. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Anybody else? No, I think Joshua Sinclair. I'll keep it simple. The lovely ladies were talking to the KKK about dealing with us, and I'm sick to my stomach. Oh, okay. Um, Black women, and I've known this since I was like 3. Okay, black women have no problem calling a white man on you to get you in line. Okay, if they can't do it physically, okay, they and you're too physically imposing, they'll call a white man and get you in line. And the KKK was one of those people. So they always had this arrangement with white men. Sometimes they give them sex, sometimes they wouldn't. But sometimes they would cook them meals or work in their house, something like that. And they would always get the white man to come talk to you, get you in line. So either the white man or that man's mother. If the man's mother couldn't do it, then they'd get the white man on you. I heard my daughter say that about her baby daddy. Okay, Michael, what's going on? West Coast, what's up at West Coast? Where you been, man? I know you're making that money, man. You better make that money. Well, Sigmas can be sexy, okay? With Sigmas can be sexy. Sigmas can be difficult, depending on how you approach them. All right, okay. Let me go to the video that started it all. Okay, let me go to Dr. L because this is the video that kind of pissed me. I was going to do parts of this video anyway, but it kind of pissed me off. Okay, and it's not so much that I'm not used to dealing with black women, but sometimes, man, the thing is, and I'm noticing this, that with black women, okay, when they're talking to black men, they don't realize how they sound to us. And the thing is that when you've been brought up that way, and you constantly dealing with all your women or all black women, and you see how they talk, you get used to it, right? But after I became a monk, and after about 6 months, okay, I could not stand that grating disrespect, underlying disrespect they had, disrespectful tone they had in their voice towards me. I couldn't take it. Okay, I could not take it. And the longer I've been a monk, it's hard for me to actually even listen to because I can hear it. And this lady, I'm sure that Dr. Ells and the other gentlemen love this lady. She's probably a very good woman and stuff like that. And she's older, and what she says might be accurate or not accurate. Okay, but the thing is the way the dismissive tone that's in her voice when she's talking to them. Okay, and these are men that are her age or older, and it grates my nerves. Okay, it really does grate my nerves. So sometimes It's like in the ministry. I don't have a lot of women up on my panels. I don't like being on panels with a lot of women. Is because I will go left. Okay, when they because and I had to realize they don't know that they're being disrespectful to you because it's normal to them. Okay, it's the way of things. I've always talked to men like that. Okay, I've always talked to the boys in my class like that. My brothers, I heard my mother talk to my father like that. It's normal to them, right? Okay, and when they hear a white woman talk to you completely different, she's being overly nice. A white woman's kissing your ass because she's actually talking to you nice. And it used to grate my nerves. And even when I was dating, man, I had a limit. Okay, I would take them. They could say what they wanted up to a point, and then when they crossed that line, man, that's when VHS would come out, and I'd snap back, and then they run away crying because they didn't know what they. I started to figure out they didn't know what they did. I started to figure out they didn't know what they did. They were to them they were being normal. So Joshua said, I noticed that to myself because even when you try to do something good that's helpful, then there's some attack to try to make it like you're doing the wrong thing. Yeah, it's normal. It's normal. And that's what used to get on my nerves. And I had to realize they don't realize that they're doing something that's disrespectful. It's just normal to them. Keisha knows it. I wish Theo. I wish that was true. I wish that was true because I hear them talk about us to each other, right? And there's so many of them. And when you check them on how their tone, man, they look at you like it's funny. Like, what are you talking about? This is normal, and it is normal. It's like they've been in water so long they think that it's normal. Keisha knows it's disrespectful. They would talk to me that way until they saw my white mom. Okay, then they would back down and act right as mom went into attack mode. The thing is, okay, which is one of the reasons why most black women, even though they do like, would love to have a white man. Okay, the first thing a black woman said, I can't be myself with a white man. Okay, I can't be my authentic self with a white man is because their tone and the way they talk to you would be disrespectful. A white man's not going to tolerate that for very long. Okay, I'm going to say all, but most white men are not going to tolerate that for very long. But the thing is normal to us because we were actually raised that way. Same thing when they go overseas, man, and they get popped upside their head is because they think that every man on the planet is supposed to respond to them the way we do. And they don't realize how much emotional labor that black men actually do for black women, which is why our lives are shorter when we actually get married. I referee Keita 87s and Keisha 89s and Tamika 92s at work daily. I mean, I wish it was a class thing, but it's not. And as you go up in class, they use different words, but the things they say exactly the same thing. And sometimes the 92 Keishas are even worse than the 85 Keishas. Okay. Artisan's laughing because he knows it's true. Because he knows it's true. Okay. It's burning. Well, I know y'all learned. Anyway, let's get to the video that started all. And this is Dr. L, and they're interviewing an older woman, and the video is called "Are Older Women Delusional?" Okay, and and a couple times Dr. L said something, and she went completely left. Okay, I'm not gonna get it all. I just want to get to the point where she's talking about a real man. Okay, speed it up just a tad. If she's too fast, please let me know because she doesn't talk slow, so. It may be too fast. If it's too fast, y'all let me know, okay? And Miss Delta, what's going on? And Miss Delta knows what I'm talking about the way that Southern mama way of speaking. Okay, it's harsh. And my mother was a sharecropper, and the way she spoke to children and the way she spoke to especially the boys is harsh. Okay, It wasn't no. I didn't grow up in a touchy feely, lovey dovey household. My mother didn't hug me very much. Okay, in fact, almost none. So when I got older, I had an older woman that actually taught me how to be affectionate and how to hug, and that was actually appreciated, right? So that's what I taught my children, and my children, okay, taught my parents how to hug because they weren't hugged when they were kids. I don't know, brother BGS. If black women didn't know they were being disrespectful to black men, then why can they recognize it when they are on the receiving end? Uh, uh, it's because it's the order of things. Okay, okay. Just like white people used to think that you supposed to step off the sidewalk when they approach you. That's all they know. Okay. And a lot of black women think that you like being talked to that way. And Keisha is more sneaky. Yeah. Yep. That's how come a lot of 92s didn't get along with me, didn't like me. You know, they liked me, but they didn't like me is because I could be dismissive the same way they did, and they didn't like it. Social dominance order or something similar, very very much so. When her son husband walked in during a discussion, Dr. L should have told her to buy a dog. Anyhow, I mean, I'm sure she's a nice lady. Okay, I'm sure she's a nice lady, but her tone had me gritting my teeth. Well, let's go ahead and play it, okay? Because I want to get to this, and then something that Psychax said right after, today, as a matter of fact, we'll go right into what about real men, okay? So don't, hey, don't be eyeballing me, boy. Black men aren't brainwashed from children. That is very true. People hate the taste of their own medicine because they know the ingredient. The thing is, if you notice, okay, when we say something accurate, okay, and probably not as even harsh as they would say it, okay, we hate black women, but they can say the exact same thing just as casually and stuff like that, insult us as casually, and there's nothing of it. Just like May did to, if you want to go back to May, she did that to Latoya, okay? And she kept doing it because she wasn't aware that that was offensive. And when I told her to stop, she wouldn't stop, and I had to drop her. And then she kept on. I said, you know what? I said, I don't know where you come from, but you can't disrespect my friends on my panel like that. Well, I didn't disrespect her. She didn't even know she had disrespected Toya. Okay, she didn't even know it. It never occurred to her that what she was saying was disrespectful. It really didn't. No, I was just being real, and they'll say that in a heartbeat. Anyhow, let's go ahead and play it before I get too wound up and VHS comes out and I start preaching a sermon. It said my tolerance level has dropped considerably since COVID. I can't take conversations with many of them. Doc, you know what I'm talking about. I was telling you, Doc. I told you during COVID, man. Uh, we have a certain amount of resistance, okay, immunity to the way they talk to us and the way they treat us, right? Because we've been taught that. And once you break from that for 3 months, 6 months, even a year, right? It's hard to go back. That's like passport bros can't go back to black women anymore. It's because they've been away and they see how they should be treated, and they can't go back. Anyhow, let's continue.
Not doing it. So
I don't blame you.
yeah, it was always a chore. It's like, it's a chore, and it led to an insecurity in me to think that I wasn't that good. But then I started cheating and women were like, your wife is crazy as hell. So I was like, oh, okay, it ain't me. So that just made it easy.
Are you good with the 50-50 conversation there, Trey? I mean, you
No,
good?
we're not doing 50-50.
See, here we go. No, we're not doing 50-50. That's where it started. Paying them late fees again. What's good, brothers? Horowitz, what's going on? See, right there. No, we're not. See how she dismissive she actually is, and way she snaps her head when you say that. Okay.
The whole key there, being honest with yourself. Lamar, tell me what you think about the average 15-year-old, 50-year-old man should be looking for.
He should be looking for someone who's feminine, someone who is healthy, someone who is coachable, and B becomes peace. Hopefully men don't need a lot. We really don't. And somewhere, I don't think a woman with a career, my ex-wife had a career, but she was feminine. She didn't challenge me as a man. That wasn't my marriage problem. My marriage problem
what about a 5 and going 50-50? What about an average woman and going 50-50?
was sex. She just withheld sex, and I just was not going for the long term. I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't, I'm 45 years old, and sex once a week at best is not healthy. I'm not doing it. So
I don't blame you.
yeah, it was always a chore. It's like it's a chore. And it led to an insecurity in me to think that I wasn't that good. But then I started cheating, and women were like, "You're like crazy as hell." So I was like, "Oh, okay, it ain't me." So that just made it easy.
Are you good with the 50-50 conversation there, Trey? I mean,
No,
good?
we're not doing 50-50. Let me just say this. High def. No, we can go there.
Why not? Tell me why. You all your bills together, and a man says, "Trey, I love you. Let's split it down the middle." That ain't good.
I'm not doing what. First of all, at our age, now we're talking about 45 and up or 15. We're talking about Generation X, right?
Yeah, 45 and up. 45 and up.
A man my age that I'm looking to date should be established in everything, have everything. No,
We're not saying that. Your household and my household, we're going to combine households, but I'm supposed to take care of the household.
Yep. You supposed as a man. No, listen.
See?
I'm not saying,
Here we go. See, here we go. Okay. Oh, here we go. As a man, this is what you're supposed to do. Okay.
but see that's the problem with the men nowadays. That's the problem. Listen, you taking care of your house right now, right?
Right.
So why you think that if
And you are too.
Can you believe she said I owe her an apology? I believe it. I believe it, Toya. I believe it. I believe it. I was, the thing is, I didn't have to do it that way, but the thing is, I let her get away with it once, okay? You said it was funny. You got away with it once, but you kept doing it, okay? I have a standard, okay? You cannot do that to people, even people that I don't know, especially people that I do know. You know better, okay? That's not cool, okay? That's why I told her she burned her bridge with me. I said I had to spend over a year not having my aunts talking to me any kind of way. I ain't going back. It's my dark side will come out first. Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, it's not just her saying what she ain't doing. Listen to her tone and her attitude while she's saying it. Okay. Which is nothing that grates on me.
Right. Why do you think that if you ask a woman to marry you, because you're asking a woman to marry you, I'm not asking you to marry.
Actually, she's talking to two grown ass men like children, okay? Like children, okay? With the finger and everything, okay? Like they're children.
Marry me. You're asking a woman I want you to come in and live in my world. This is what you said. You need to succumb to what I'm telling you to do. You need to come into my world. You need to be able to do what I'm telling you to do. Then you need to handle your goddamn business and make sure everything is taken care of. And then if you can't, don't ask me to come and succumb to be under your submission.
Exactly. Go find another group of women. Okay. Go find one. Go find another group of women.
And do what you want me to do. What are you doing? Other than bullying and bossing somebody around.
So don't take it as bullying and bossing. So so what I'm saying is that if a woman, this is average. This is not me and you. So I am capable that if a woman comes in, she moves in my house, she don't have to bring a thing. But you can't come in here with this attitude.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Why would any Gen Xer want her? They don't. That's why she's not married, at least not that I know of. And I know Dr. L's got the patience of Job, man. But you can see, man, he's ready. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You got to come in like, baby, teach me. How can I be your helpmate?
In other words, I'm here to help. I'm here to help elevate us. Okay.
Every woman falls back on the religious part of it, that you came from a man's rib.
Said a 60-year-old would go 100%. That's true.
Since when did the rib become the body? A woman is the rib of a man. So when did the rib become the body?
But this is the thing about it. But this is, I said this before. And people are saying a joint account. Cool, joint account, everything. The right man that comes along and does what he's supposed to do, he's going to have the right.
Does what he's supposed to do. Okay, according to who? Okay, according to who?
Right woman under his roof. Like that guy, I can't think of his name. He said he pays all the bills and takes care of everything. His girl could take her money and do what she want to do. But she do what she want to do. She kicking in with her man because her man taking care of her. The way you treat a woman is the way she will respond to you.
Bullshit. The way her mother teaches her as a girl is the way she will respond to you. Bullshit. Okay.
And when a woman comes into a man's presence, a grown man's presence.
Oh, see, here we go.
A
grown man's presence. Okay. According to them.
Leader who don't ask no 50-50 question when he asks you to marry him or be his woman or come into his life or in his space. When that man shows up and say everything's taken care of, that woman gonna kick him like a mother. You understand me? You ain't gonna be no question of what she gonna do with her money. Because when that man come correct, she gonna respect everything.
When he come correct, see that real man bullshit. Okay, according to them.
About him, the problem is men ain't coming correct.
They
got this 50-50 question. Real men ain't coming to the table.
See that real man. That real man ain't coming to the table talk about 50-50. Okay.
What you bringing to the table? You gonna pay 50-50? I'm gonna need half it. No, real men coming to the table. You walk in that door. You walk in his life. He already handling everything. That was one thing about my ex-husband. That was one thing about my ex-husband. He was raised that way. He never saw his mother pay for nothing. So when I was with him, there was no question on 50-50. Even when he was down on his luck. And this is when we was young. And I worked at a daycare center.
See, that's the real man shit. They always want that ability to leave by stacking their money, using your money to survive, and then leave when things get uncomfortable, saying it all was an attitude and while bowing down to Mr. Cartwright. Yep. They pay for Mr. Cartwright. They pay. You're there to be used.
And he was struggling a little bit. He still wouldn't take no money from me. He's like, I'm not taking no money from you. I'm going to figure this shit out. And that's what he did. He's wealthy to this day. And we struggled early on. And he never, ever, even when we didn't have, and I had a little bit, wanted to take anything from me. And to this day, he'll do anything I ask him to do as a friend because I was willing to ride with him when he didn't have. And when he got, he never, ever, ever as a man.
See, real men use their passport. They come correct through immigration and then forget Keisha exists. And notice that she said her ex was like that, but she's still divorced. Yep. So these are the same ones in the academy saying gender is a construct in Africa was beyond femininity, at least until they want cherry-pick 50s Western traditionality from men. Yep.
The way he was raised by his father, expected a dime for any woman to this day, and any of his brothers. And his 7 brothers, seven boys. They've never ever expected anything from a woman because a real man don't expect shit from a woman.
See, a real man don't expect shit from a woman. Okay, this old ass dame is trying to dictate terms. Only black women think that their old 1975 Ford Pinto asses with exploding gas tanks or new BMWs. Yeah, they do. They went through this before. I'm not going to go through that part. Okay, because it was like an hour and a half long. I just want to dive in on what she said about being a real man because this was the icing on the cake. Okay, their queen base had always 50-50 in relationships on the anthem Independent Woman Part 2. What happened between now and then? Okay. Anyhow, let's keep going. But what I'm saying, this is the kind of stuff that irritates me. Okay, that's why I'm a monk.
And I'm sorry to tell you, a grown ass generation 50 and over men that's talking about 50-50. You ain't gonna come in my house and do this and do that. A real man ain't expecting shit from a woman. Point blank.
A real man.
I don't care what she got. If he's established, he ain't expecting nothing from her.
But you're making a statement that only 20% of men can do. Most men are barely getting by. Most women are barely getting by. So why wouldn't
Coach Ganesh not paying full price for older used woman? Sorry, I'll just stay single. Modern women want virgin prices with older used cat. I got higher standards. Women want to dictate what men do. Team younger. Yes, that's why. I said Incognito says, been a minute. BTS Sigma is a John Wick video game character, is what some would say. Okay, Incognito. Sigma comes from Brave New World. Okay, John the Savage is a Sigma. The Alpha, Beta, Omega, all that shit comes from Brave New World. Okay, John the Savage is outside of that paradigm. That's why he's a Sigma. Okay, John Wick could be a Sigma, but that's not where it comes from. Okay. But do I give a? Do I look like I give a fuck? Does reign supreme with me to big home? Yeah, to me big home. Yeah, with me big home. Yep, yep. Sigmas don't care. We're outside the paradigm. Ex-husband sound like he was the X-Man. Well, I don't know. He could have. There are guys that are like that don't. That I respect it. Okay, I respect it. I wasn't raised that way. Okay, my mother had to contribute. Okay, my aunt had to contribute. All the folks in my family, women in my family, had to contribute. Okay, whether they had a little or a lot. Okay, it all went into one pot. Dr. Steele said, "Does she understand what a real man?" No, it is her version of a real man. Okay, that's why I'm going to get after this. I'm going to get into what Psychax said today. Okay, Dante Bryan says, "Why when women talk about these real men that did all this stuff for them, they're always speaking of them in the past tense." Yeah, my grandfather used to say, "There is no fool like an old fool." Very true. Alpha up there talking crazy as hell. You know what? If she was unusual, okay, if she was unusual, I'd be okay with it. But she's not unusual. Dusty Jones says, with 2026 looming, you don't have to worry about doing 50-50. Less stress, fellas. Now you don't have to share your dusty can of beans. Winter is here. Yep, yep, yep. What did she say?
What's happening? What's going on? Kevin was right! Winter is coming and we don't have a man! Oh my God.
But there's never a notion of a real woman that has to give anything to men. That's exactly right. We'll actually get to that, okay?
Somebody that's barely getting by, that they love each other, not split the things down the middle so they can get ahead in life.
I just made a statement. You didn't listen to the statement.
No, but the statement
when he didn't have nothing, you said most men ain't getting by. When he didn't have nothing, he pulled up his bootstraps and went and got.
There we go with the bootstrap stuff, okay? There's no excuses. Look at her.
He said, "I'm not taking nothing from you. I'm good. I'm gonna handle this." So it's not about most men ain't making it right now. It's a 20%. No, a grown man gonna make sure he can handle his business, period. Whatever that is.
The problem is, Trey, is that the younger, and we'll say 40 and under, they can't live the life that we live. And we got to stop this narrative that
hell, we didn't live the life that they lived. There's some people that could, okay, but the expectations are too high, the costs are too high, okay. Some men did, okay. There were men that did pay 100%. Most black men did not live that way. I don't know where she gets this bullshit from.
The Generation X, yes, that was a thing that Generation X did.
No, they didn't.
My daughter's almost 30 years old.
No, they did. Generation X didn't do that shit. Stop. Okay, some of them did, but most of them did not do that shit. Okay, they didn't. Stop lying.
Still needs assistance from her parents because she cannot make the daily necessary bills, and she has a college degree. So for a woman to say that to a man who's 35, who's just trying to get himself together, that you love each other, because me and my ex-wife didn't have anything, and we put our money together and we built what we had.
See, exactly. That's what most people did. Okay, even before Generation X, that's what most people did. Okay, black women worked. Okay, it wasn't no 100% shit. I don't know where they get that shit from. Most women in America worked and contributed. Okay, even white women. Okay. We live in an era where only the women can tell you what a real man is, but they can't tell you what a woman is. Make that make sense. That is very okay. A birthing person. Okay.
That can still happen. To think that you are going to meet this man and he's supposed to come with everything taken care of, Yes, if you're taking care of I take care of my household now. If a woman moves in today, she's going to be required a percentage of her money is going to go into a pot to take care of other things around here. I don't care. It may not be 50-50, it might be 60-40, it might be 70-30.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're not going to just take your money and do whatever you want to do with it. That is not realistic for anyone under the age of 40 today.
Exactly.
Now,
or over age
older
of
man
40.
who has a house that he can do these things, yes, that's a different scenario. But for anyone else under the age of 40, it is struggle time in here. And for just to say that you can't and you won't allow, that's just not realistic, man. That is not.
It's not realistic, and people over 60 is not realistic. That's bullshit. Okay.
Fair to a young man. That's why men don't need to get married until they later.
We're not talking about younger men right now. We're talking about 50 and up. We're talking about 45 and up.
We're talking in general. He's general. He's all over the board.
When people are building together, when younger people are coming up, until a man is established, he shouldn't want to take anybody under his roof or under his leadership.
Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Let me finish this up real quick, and then we'll actually go into psychics because she's gonna make my head explode.
Anyway, until he's established.
Bullshit.
That's why men are not getting married till later now, because
that's good. That's a good idea.
So what women need to do is uphold their part and stop having babies.
Yes.
Before you get married.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I mean,
so a woman who's working a full-time job or even part-time is allowed to do what she wants with her money. We're talking people who are over 50. You meet up with someone, you or someone else in the chat or whatever, who's ever watching this. It's a 50-year-old woman. She runs into someone. Let's just say she's 50, he's 55. Let's just throw out these numbers, and she's now has been working, handling her bills, has a place to live, a car, all the different modern amenities, whatever. She's got it going on. He's got it going on. So she is not supposed to. He's supposed to now take her under his wing, take her into her house, ask her to marry her, move her in, and take over all the bills. Number one question: what is she now doing with her money? And number two, what does he get for paying all the bills?
What she doing with her money is contributing to the house. I didn't say the woman was gonna come. She gonna go to the store and buy groceries. She gonna pull out her credit card and buy the groceries. When something comes up, she gonna pay for that. I'm not saying that a woman ain't gonna do what she's supposed to do in the household.
You just did.
I'm saying that man is supposed to handle the leadership role in the household.
That's not what you said.
That grown man is supposed to handle that. I'm not saying that she got to take her money and she gonna do whatever she wants.
That's not what you said.
Because that's the problem. That man, this is my point. This is my point for every man that's listening right now. A man shouldn't be dependent on a woman for nothing. A grown, able-bodied man should not be dependent on a woman financially for nothing. Any woman, his mother, his sister, or his wife. He should not be dependent on anybody for nothing. I'm not saying a woman is supposed to be in the house getting furs and boots and pocketbooks and all. I'm saying that man is supposed to be able to handle.
See how they think about you, okay? See how they think about you? See how they think about you?
The business of the home on his own at 50 and up. And if you can't, you shouldn't be taking a woman in your house and expecting to lead anything. Because clearly you haven't financially taken care of what you're supposed to take care of. You haven't been leading correctly. If you have to depend on anybody as a grown man, Lamar, you shouldn't have to depend on nobody as a grown man, and I know you don't. Dr. L, you should depend on nobody as a grown man, and I know you don't. I'm saying that you should be able to handle your business when that woman comes in that house, and you shouldn't expect anything from her.
Ooh.
She's going to come in.
What does he get?
He's getting companionship. What? First of all, when you ask her to marry you, let's put this on the table. You asked this woman to marry you and come into your home. What did you want from her?
Peace.
Because that's what you should be getting.
Peace,
because you asked this woman to marry you, unless you married her because you want some money and you need a partner to come to your house and pay half. So whatever you.
I don't think that's part of the conversation what we're talking about. I don't think any man over the age of 50 is looking for a woman that can help contribute. I think that is a younger person's conversation with that they are trying to build together.
That's a person's conversation. You can't come in and live for free because the bills are going to go up. Okay, you're not a pet. You're not a pet. Okay. Anyway. She's trying to irritate me. I said, well, why go 50-50 when we go $40? That's a different story, okay? That's a different story. In our neighborhood, 90% of the women worked and contributed. I am an old boomer who watched his parents, everything went into the pot. Exactly. Yeah. She's an example of watching Dynasty, Dallas, and Pretty Woman on repeat. Now, she may have been really pretty when she was young. She might have been able to get away with it. I don't know, okay? But my parents are silent generation, okay? I saw them put all their money into a pot, and they were young. They weren't old. They weren't 50 years old. They weren't established, okay? They were young. They're in their 20s, okay? That's what they did because they had to. That's bullshit that a grown man shouldn't take a woman into his house until he's fully established. Okay? Why should he take you? Why should he take you? Anyway, let's. I'm gonna go to next. I'm gonna get to psych hacks, okay? Because psych hacks. That's why I'm doing it because I was gonna actually review this whole video. I still might, okay? Because a lot of stuff that she was saying, the way she was saying, it actually irritated me, okay? So, but the reason I actually did it is because psych hacks had a video today about. As a white man talking about the exact same thing. This is a white man, okay? This is not a black man, okay? Her coochie as a treat for submission to her. Well, the thing is, that's why them $40 will get you the same thing and cheaper. Okay, cheaper to actually spend the $40. Okay. Even in Dynasty, okay, Dynasty, for a man of that stature to marry a woman, she has to come with attributes like family, connections, all that kind of stuff. He just don't marry a woman out of a diner and pick her up and bring her into his mansion. Okay, she got to come with something. Okay. I might do it, AB. I might do it. Hey, man, I'm for the $3 and quarters in the cup holder. I'm that kind of guy. Okay, ain't no $40 forever. I'm that $3 guy with the cup holder, right outside the gas station. That's me. You know, as they say they say in Swahili, right? Pesa ni pesa, money is money, and kuma is kuma ni kuma. Okay. Punani is punani. And if I'm not keeping it, I'm not trying to show it off. I'm not trying to. She's not representing me. Psh, it's all the same. It's all the same. As long as he's happy, I'm happy. Okay. And if I can get it on a discount, I'll get it on a discount. And so that's why I never went after guys about tricking. Okay. I never went after guys. If you don't believe in tricking, I have no problem with you. But the thing is, man, I know too many well-to-do guys that trick. Rich men trick, okay? Even Lady Diana had to come with money and stat. Yeah, yeah.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic for today's short talk is man up. So this is an episode for the men, especially the young men in the audience. There is something you need to be aware of with respect to the way society treats men and masculinity. I'm not quite sure whether to say that it's operating under the surface or in plain sight, but this episode is designed to help you recognize something that might otherwise exert an insidious effect on you. I thought the best way to approach this idea would be through the phrases, a real man or man up. I'm sure you've heard these phrases before.
Yes, we have, especially in the black circles, okay?
I want you to notice that these phrases are never, ever, ever accompanied by imperatives to act in ways that directly benefit.
If you pay $40, you better double rap, Big Mo.
Fit men. Strange but true. Don't believe me? Let me give
If you pay $200 on a date, you better double rap, okay? Ain't no guarantees.
you some examples of what male benefiting statements might sound like. Here's one. A real man will work a side hustle in his spare time until it's successful enough to give him the financial independence to live the life of freedom he's always dreamed of. I care about bro, and bro needs to man up and take the leap to put out a minimum viable product pronto. Or here's another. A real man prioritizes his strength and well-being. I care about bro, and bro needs to man up and get his body fat under 20% and increase his testosterone so he can feel strong and capable. Or just one more, because I can't resist. A real man will cut a woman loose.
Yes.
Who isn't making his life better.
Yes, that's what I agree with that.
And who isn't adding value to his life.
Yes.
I care about bro, and bro needs to man up and respect his own time. Like, I don't know about you, but I have never heard these phrases or anything even approximating these phrases in my entire life. No, when the phrases a real man or man up are used in today's day and age, they are always, always, always accompanied by imperatives to act in ways that benefit women.
That's why I played that one first. When she talked about what a real man does, it had nothing to do with her helping him. Okay, is what he's doing for her. And if you can't do for me, don't ask me for nothing. Okay.
I dare you to find an exception to this rule. A real man wouldn't keep a woman waiting several years. He would man up and take responsibility for her. A real man wouldn't go 50-50 on a date. He provides for a woman so she can relax and be feminine.
How long have we heard that one, fellas? How long have we heard that one in the black manosphere? Huh? How long? You cannot, like Kevin says, you cannot make this shit up, right?
Get the picture? Most relationship advice assumes, tacitly or otherwise, that good men, real men, advance along a relationship escalator that, just coincidentally, happens to offer women their best chance of long-term provision and security, often irrespective of the man's interests and desires. And if that advice ever runs counter to this escalator and counsels a man to end his relationship, it's always so that her time isn't wasted, never his.
Yes.
By the same token, any advice that pertains to a man's health or friends or finances is okay, I guess, provided it never conflicts with the fundamental imperative that the woman remain the first priority in his life.
Yes. Yeah. Say it again, white boy. Say it again.
Why? Because a real man doesn't leave his woman at home to spend time with his friends. And
say it again, white man.
He certainly doesn't go to the gym if it takes him away from the household tasks that she would prefer him to complete instead.
Mm-hmm.
That is, any advice to men is acceptable only to a point. And that point is wherever a woman deems it to conflict with her agenda, in which case a real man would know how to treat a lady.
We just heard that shit for about, what, good 20 minutes coming out of a black woman, older black woman's mouth, okay?
And I have to ask, why the fuck are we collectively defining what a real man is relative to how women might benefit?
Ooh, spicy. A little VHS. A little VHS coming out in Psychax. I said, I'm 52 in the DMV. Any woman living in my home will contribute significantly if she is working full time. Exactly. Yep. Otherwise, why is she there?
Like, that is a non-rhetorical question. Why would we allow that to happen? If you're interested in taking your understanding to the next level, I would encourage you to check out the Captain's Quarters, my members-only self-improvement community. Your monthly membership will get you access to a cadre of like-minded, supportive individuals and exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else. Click the link in the description for more information. Hope to see you aboard. Now, some of you might think that there's nothing all that strange about defining men relative to the degree to which they conform to women's desires. After all, we're all duly familiar with the phrases. We've heard them enough times, so they must be true. Well, what if we just switch around the genders? I don't know. Just go crazy. Would that still be acceptable? Let's see. A real woman wouldn't waste a man's time. She would give him the type of relationship that provides him with the greatest freedom and satisfaction, irrespective of her own interests and desires. And a real woman certainly wouldn't put her friends or her finances or her career or herself ahead of her relationship. She needs to woman up and make sacrifices as appropriate.
Ooh. That'll never happen.
After all, happy spouse, happy house, right? A real woman is fit and feminine, so the man can abide in his masculine. For some reason, he just isn't able to do that unless she shows up in a certain way, and so it falls on her to do so. And she definitely needs to woman up and take responsibility for a man, both materially and emotionally. Otherwise, he is well within his rights to walk. Don't waste his time, ladies. Like, do any of these statements sound familiar? Like, of course not. We would never hear these coming from the dominant culture. And if and when they are voiced in corners of the internet, they are immediately denounced as sexist and misogynistic. And how could that be? Like, as a social observer, I'm curious about how the same advice can be normalized when directed to one gender and villainized when directed to the other and not be sexist. It raises some questions, to say the least. The dominant culture would have you believe that a real man is determined by the degree to which he benefits women. And any deviation from that is met with considerable shame, censure, and recrimination. On the other hand, the phrase, a real woman, functionally doesn't even exist in our culture, which is to suggest that all women are presumed to be real and that they are therefore self-defined in a way that a man is not. As a result, they are openly validated and encouraged to do what is in their own naked self-interest. And suggesting that that self-interest should in any way be compromised to provide benefit for men is considered sexist and oppressive and an infringement on our inherent self-determination.
Yep.
So what's the issue? Well, among other things, the issue is that there are a lot of well-meaning, good-intentioned, but soft-headed young men out there who come into contact with these phrases and the attitudes they represent in 1,000 different ways from the time they are children.
Oh, VHS comes from is my evil twin. One of Charles's girlfriends, or had remembered something we said about abortion, and she took a law. She had a law professor where she talked about abortion, and she said, "Remember when you in VHS were talking about abortion? You guys were actually right." So that's where VHS is. It's actually a running joke. It's a running joke about her mispronouncing BGS. That's where it comes from. So VHS is the evil twin.
And they believe it. Contrary to most people's self-perception, the majority of people are generally obedient. They don't want to disappoint their parents, who are also generally obedient.
Yes.
They don't want to alienate their friends, who are also generally obedient.
Yes.
And they don't want to upset women, who are also generally obedient. This means that young men hear these phrases and integrate these attitudes out of a good faith expectation that they will, in fact, become real men. But cui bono? Who benefits from this transformation? I think we would be hard-pressed to argue that it is the men themselves who do so. After all, none of the social imperatives leveled at men, if followed, would make men stronger, richer, healthier, happier, etc. However, every commandment with respect to his manhood is framed vis-a-vis his behavior toward women, which, for lack of a better word, is crazy. It's completely nuts. My point here is that all men, especially young men, have to understand that their dominant culture has absolutely no interest in supporting them in becoming men in their own right.
Yes.
Read my lips. The dominant culture does not want masculine men. It does not want men to be vigorous and powerful and prosperous and happy and abundant. And I'm going to explain why that is in a future episode. For the time being, however, it's important for men to understand that their value is not fundamentally...
VHS, Laserdisc, and Betamax. Betamax, I might be Betamax. Betamax is old. I might be Betamax by now.
Predicated on what they can do for women. And if possible, to find other men who view masculinity as...
We always go back to 8-track too, Sincere.
As an inherently good and positive trait, as this will help to offset the pressures to conform to the dominant culture they might otherwise feel. There you have it. What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments below. And please send this episode to someone who you think might benefit from its message. I know you know somebody who needs to hear this because it's word of mouth referrals like this that really help to make the channel grow. Other value propositions? Anyone looking to join my free weekly newsletter for which I write original...
All right. Okay. But that's what inspired me to actually do this video today, okay? Is because I heard what she said, and Psycax came right behind it and talked about it from the white side. The exact same thing, okay? And I want young men to actually fall into this trap that we did, okay? With a real man. Don't let no woman tell you what the fuck a real man is, okay? Only men can decide what men are. And when I was a young man, I didn't listen to women about what a real man was. I went to my older compatriots. You know, when I was in my 20s, I went to guys that are 40s and 50s. Okay, what is a real man? Okay, and sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad. But the thing is, I let them, my peers, determine what a man was, not women. And so I think, especially in this social media space, we're letting women tell us what real men actually are. I ain't give a fuck what they thought a real man was. Okay, if I'm not your version of a real man, I'm gonna bounce. Go find your real man. Go find your real man. And you have them 9s and 10s. Okay, they can get that version of a real man because he's got it like that. If you have what he needs and you're that pretty and you're that gorgeous, okay, that you can demand those kinds of rights, it's on you. Okay, if you get a man that's willing to pay for all your bills and you don't have to do nothing except lay back or whatever it is that he wants you to do, God bless you. Okay. I said, there's a clip from the Daily Wrap-Up crew where a black woman says, "I miss the days when men would protect, provide, and shut up." Yeah, that Mr. Z plays that all the time. Okay, Qui bono, Pinocchio. Yep. Yeah, as I would say, I'll help you find the motherfucker. Well, it's indoctrination. Okay, and my mother used to try that stuff. Okay, you'll never find a girlfriend because you too cheap. In my mind, I ain't paying for no bitch, and I didn't. Okay, I didn't. I'm not going out there, trying to buy a girlfriend. Okay, I mean, you buy a hoe is because you're renting her. Okay, I said you don't buy a girlfriend. Why? If I'm going to buy a woman, I'm going to buy a woman. It's going to be transactional. If it's not, okay, then it's not a transaction. We're going to get in and we're going to get together and make it do what it do. Women in Uganda don't act like this. That's why I'm married. You know what thing? That's a different that's a different culture. And a man is expected to take care of the house and pay for everything. And she's expected to live on what he can provide. But the thing is, he gets way more for his money than we do. Way more. So my mom used to call me cheap sometimes, but if I wasn't, I would be broke and homeless out here. That's why I heard that, Ahmed. That's why I left America. Yep. Anyhow, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up. I just dropped in because I actually was gonna do the whole thing of Dr. L's, but it was like almost 2 hours, so I didn't want to do that. But the thing is, I wanted to play that piece where she talks about what a real man does, and then come behind it with this clip from Psychax, okay? Because they're saying the exact same thing. Do not let a woman determine your value, okay? As far as the mating market, okay, what she will accept, what she wants as a man, she has the right to determine that, but she does not have to determine your value as a man, okay? A woman does not determine your value as a man. It does not. Even people that are out here, young, I give it to Generation Z. They figured that shit out, okay? You don't determine my value. I do. I don't have to date you. I don't have to be with you. I don't have to spend money on you. Okay? I don't have to talk to you. And I'm good. And that's a man. A man stands on his square, no matter what it is, where it is, even if it's a cart full of cans. Okay? He's gonna stand on his square. What's his name? Walter Mosley wrote a book about that. Okay, about a big man, black man, just got out of prison collecting cans, and that's how he made his money. Okay, but he stood on his square. He didn't have to be rich. He stood on his square. Anyhow, let me get out of here. I think it was always outnumbered, always outgunned. I might do that as a no, as a Patreon. As you review that movie, because there's a lot of stuff that's in there that talks about not having no money, okay, being damn near homeless, and still being a man and standing on your square, and being what they call a quote unquote real man, okay, and always outnumbered. Yep. Anyhow, y'all, let me get out of here, and I will see you guys later. Peace and blessings, okay? And let me play the next president of Kenya.
And with that, I just have two more words to say. Obama out.